Child-free people of Reddit, how old were you when you were definitely sure you didn't want to have any kids? I feel like I always knew I didn't want kids. There was never an aha moment for me. Assumed I would eventually have kids, in fact, but never really felt that maternal instinct or drive, so I didn't make it a priority in my life, and before I knew it, I was too old anyway. Beaming face with smiling eyes. Like 3rd grade. I waffled a bit in my 20s. By my 30s, I was so thankful we didn't do it. I can look back as far as I can remember and acknowledge that I've never wanted kids. I had no interest in playing with baby dolls when I was little or playing house, none of that. But I didn't firmly take that stance and make that decision until about 22. I think 30 or 31. I never really wanted kids. I just thought you have to, because that's what everyone expects. As soon as my first friends got kids, I immediately knew this is absolutely not a life I want. Young. Like 10? 9? I always knew I had no interest in being a parent. Early 30s. 6 years old. Around 4. Used to watch the World Vision ads and wonder why people had kids when we couldn't feed the ones already here. Also, there was a TV show called Lift Off in Australia with a faceless baby puppet, and it terrified the shit out of me. Scared of babies ever since then. Realized in childhood that never wanted to become a biological mom to someone, always wanted to adopt. Realized at 27, nah. I am definitely child-free. I can take care of kids and love them without needing to have one with me at all times. 22. I keep getting told I will change my mind, but 10 years later, I'm married and still hasn't happened. Progressively, I suppose? At 20, I was quite sure I didn't want children right then, but was open to the idea that I might want kids later down the road. At 30, I still didn't want kids right then, and I felt it was less likely that would change. By 40, I still didn't want kids right then, and was rather sure I wouldn't be wanting them at any point in the future. The day I was born, considering I didn't ask for this. I was 12. I got sterilized at the age of 30 as I didn't think any GP would listen to me before that age. Now I wish I'd asked to be sterilized earlier. I think I always knew. I helped to raise and homeschool my 7 younger siblings, so I feel that I have had plenty of children already. I've always known. For as long as I can remember, when I've thought about a future, it has never included children. I never did know, if that makes sense. It was never something I ever thought of. Once a slightly mad ex tried to convince me a pregnancy was mine, then pretended to have a miscarriage in one day when I doubted it was mine. I still quite like her, mind you. I was never a person who likes children. I find them a little boring. After I met my partner, I was afraid that he wanted a child, but as his visual disability could pass on to the future child, he said he definitely didn't want that, so we were sure that this was not our plan. After I babysat my baby nephew, and I swear I cried more than him. Thankfully, I rang my mom, and she saved the day, haraha. My sister was mad at me for a bit, but my nephew is now 5, so we both passed it, aha. I've always wanted kids, but I also want a house to raise them in, and unfortunately, that's hard to come by. 19. I've never found hanging out with kids entertaining. Even as a preteen/teenager, I didn't like babysitting and never wanted to be around kids because they were boring to me. As an adult, I can appreciate that kids can be cute, and I know how to entertain them and take care of them for someone else. I've even worked in a daycare, but I've retained the mindset of I never want this as my whole life or responsibility because it's just not my thing, probably since I was like 10 years old. 30s. I always thought that my biological clock would start ticking and that would motivate me to procreate, but the opposite occurred. The older I got, parenthood became increasingly less appealing. I love kids, but I have no desire for that lifestyle.